Hey gang, it's JC and this is your Daily Dose for Monday, August 2nd, 2010, a cooperative venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. You know, we're always trying to do stuff here on the site to improve things, and of course we added Dave Murray's weather forecast, and we put the archives at the top of the page, and you can subscribe to the audio of the Daily Dose on your iTunes deal there. Well, as of today, you are now able to get the Daily Dose on your mobile phone. Not been available on there up until now, but now it is, so you can pick it up right there on your mobile phone anytime, 24 hours a day. Don't forget, we're on our 15-month paid vacation. We roll on, so let's get going here. You know, when they pulled the plug on the show last October, the boss went on television and he said, you know, we're going to do everything we can to try to get JC another job. We're going to try to find him another job. Yes, and OJ is doing everything he can to find the real killers. Anyhow, so here we go. Lock your doors, ladies and gentlemen. Lindsay Lohan is back out on the streets, right back into rehab too, by the way. You know, and they're really going to teach her a lesson this time, because south of Los Angeles, between LA and San Diego, there's a place called Orange County. If you've ever been there, it's sort of like gingerbread land. It's beautiful, rolling hills, little foothills of mountains looking out over the water, and that is where she is going. She is going to be in a rehab center where they do surfing and snorkeling. I hope they know what they're doing. She is going to come out of this a hard woman. That's what you do to somebody when you're trying to teach them a lesson. Just before Lindsay Lohan got sent to jail, by the way, she did a movie. It is called Underground Comedy 2010. Underground Comedy 2010. It was written and directed by Vince, the ShamWow guy. Yes, a series of intelligent, well-thought-out, professional decisions, one after another from Lindsay Lohan. The drinking rate in this country has hit a 25-year high. 67% of Americans say, yeah, we toss them back on a regular basis. That's the highest it's been since 1985. The all-time high, well, gosh, 76 through 78. Gosh, remember what was going on there? We were running out of everything. Nixon had gotten thrown out of office. Vietnam had finally ended. Disco was upon us. Did I mention that? People were just drinking at a 71% rate back then. Right now, beer is the popular choice at 41%. Wine in second place at 32%. The hard stuff at 21%. Have one on me, will you? Al Gore was looking for a happy ending, and he got one. Not that kind of happy ending. That masseuse out in Oregon who said that Al wanted her to, you know, go to work on him. Well, she failed the polygraph test, and now it turns out she may have been paid by the National Enquirer to sort of juice up this story. The long and the short of it is, all the charges has been dropped. Al Gore has been cleared. And by the way, I laughed as much as anybody over his comment a couple of years ago about when he said, you know, I practically invented the internet. It's like, Al, don't be a douche. There's only one problem, and I just recently found this out. He never said that. He never said the words, I practically invented the internet. Matter of fact, it's hard to find any comment that Al Gore made that even sounds anything like that. But it is interesting that almost everybody believes that he said that, and it never happened. But I will tell you something that is true. After the United States invaded Iraq, started that war a couple of years ago, Sony trademarked the phrase shock and awe for their video games. Now, they have since pulled back on that, and they said that's probably not a good idea. By the time you are watching the Daily Dose, Fox, the Fox network, may have already announced the changes on American Idol. We know that Cara DeGuardi is gone. We know that Ellen is gone. We know that Simon is gone. He quit. It's looking like the new judges are Jennifer Lopez and Steven Tyler of Aerosmith. Jennifer Lopez, she says she can't wait to work with Randy Jackson. She's also thrilled that there's going to be somebody on the show that's got a bigger, fatter ass than she does. Levi Johnston off the hook regarding his possible involvement in the impregnation of that other Alaskan chick other than Bristol Palin. Actor Lawrence Fishburne is a proud papa today. That is because his 19-year-old daughter has announced that she's become a porn star and she's made her first movie. Oprah was a no-show at the Chelsea Clinton wedding, upstate New York, over the weekend. That explains why there was some leftover cake. Senator John Kerry. I think you probably know this story. It was a couple of months ago that somebody uncovered a big scandal that John Kerry had a $7 million yacht. Now, he lives, and he's a legislator in the state of Massachusetts, but he was docking this yacht, this $7 million yacht, in Rhode Island to sort of get away on some tax advantages. Well, our professional tool here in the St. Louis area, Ed Martin, who's running against Russ Carnahan, Ed Martin started trying to dig up dirt on his opponent, Russ Carnahan. And he found out that Russ had done the same thing. He had found out that Russ had a yacht and was docking it in Illinois to dodge taxes. So he held a news conference, and he said, here's the facts on this. And it turns out now, after Ed got everybody all upset about this, it turns out that Russ Carnahan was a part owner of a boat. And I'm calling it a boat because I saw a picture of it, and to call it a yacht would be laughable. It turns out this boat was 40 years old, and it had been in the family for quite some time, and Russ was only a part owner. And by the way, anything he was doing, docking it in Illinois, was perfectly legal. And by the way, he didn't even own it anymore. He sold it a while back and got a whopping $2,000 for the sale of his boat. Did I mention that Ed Martin is a tool? Great campaign issue there, Ed. I got approached again by Channel 5 on the I'm Just Saying thing. They would like me to do it, and aside from the fact that they're poorly produced and stupid, you know, I might actually think about doing it if it was a group of broadcast professionals, people who over the course of time had earned the right to comment on the events of the day and were respected and had some credibility and stuff like that. But you turn the thing on, and one night, yeah, you'll get like a Bill McClellan who from the Post-Dispatch, and I think has earned the right to be listened to. But the next night you turn on, and you got some sort of, you know, top 40 hip-hop DJ who suddenly has decided that he's a political commentator now. Why would you bring yourself down to that level? Or to the level of a cranky old retiree from Belleville who's such an obnoxious, insufferable nitwit that they don't even want him in their Knights of Columbus meetings or their Rotary Club over there in Illinois, so he goes on TV to try to get some attention. Why would you lower yourself down to that level? Why would you bring yourself down to that level? Sorry, ain't going to do it. Quit calling. The Cardinals retired Whitey's number over the weekend, and they did it right, too, because they waited till everybody was in the ballpark and the game was about to start before they had the ceremony, instead of doing it like 20 minutes before while people are still drinking at the bars. A very, very classy move. By the way, Mike Shannon, who was doing the emceeing for the thing, referred to the owner, his boss, as DeBill DeWitt. We love you, Mike. Jay Nixon, by the way, designated it Whitey Herzog Day in the state of Missouri. They made the announcement at 10 after 6 at night. That's sort of a short day, isn't it? All right, I'm as sick as anybody over the Ryan Ludwig trade, and you've already heard everybody's displeasure, everything from the sports writers to the fans who have all said, what are you guys doing? But it has really, really upset me on, I think, a whole different level. And yes, maybe it was necessary at the end of the day. Maybe the salary issues were such that they had to do something. Maybe they knew that they were going to lose him probably at the end of not this season, but next season, because he would have played out his options. But you got a 100 RBI guy, great teammate, great offense, great defense, terrific arm, accurate arm, great attitude, team leader. Let's dump him. You know, and just 3 days earlier, you know, when they were still trying to get Roy Oswalt from Houston, they were going to give the Astros John Jay. Well, then they turn around and they keep John Jay. They get rid of Ryan Ludwig, and we get a pitcher that is far less formidable than Roy Oswalt. I'm afraid I don't get this. So now you got Matt Holliday, who doesn't know how to catch a ball in left field, and doesn't know how to go back to the wall on balls that are hit over his head in left field. He gets to remain a Cardinal. Colby Rasmus, who is just out to lunch sometimes and can't throw from the outfield, he gets to be a Cardinal. Brendan Ryan, who has forgotten how to play baseball, gets to remain a Cardinal. A couple of second basemen who aren't hitting get to remain Cardinals. They all get to remain St. Louis Cardinals, but Ryan Ludwig gets his bags packed for him. He gets sent off to San Diego. At least that's a first-place team. At least that's some saving grace in the whole thing. But what a crappy message to send not only to Ryan Ludwig, send to the fans, to send to everybody. And it sort of hits home with me because I've been in situations, I won't name any, where I'm in there doing my job and I'm getting results. and they still whack you. But Ryan said this before, I'll say it again. When you're doing your job and you're getting results and they whack you anyhow, it just means you're in the wrong place. By the way, anybody notice that John Jay was 1 for 8 since the trade? By the way, we only have 2 more months of Jay Randolph mispronouncing Colby Rasmus's name and calling him Rasmus. But I'll make one last comment here on the Ryan Ludwig situation, and that is this. This town has been the setting for some tremendous outpouring of emotion for former St. Louis Cardinal ball players who return in a different uniform for the first time to Busch Stadium. Why don't you buy a ticket for Thursday, September 16th, because that's going to be the official return of Ryan Ludwig to St. Louis since this trade. Thursday, September 16th. Buy a ticket. Something tells me you'll have a very memorable time at the ball game. By the way, we now have a siren going off, and that is to join the cicadas, which are yelling here in the backyard. Sometimes when I shoot at night, we also get bullfrogs. All right, JC's Video Village, all new features on the website now because it is Monday. And we're going back to 1999. If you're not in the TV business, you don't know about this. There's something called an audition tape. And when you're looking for a TV job, you take 5 or 6 minutes and you string together quick little snippets of all the stuff you've done on television to try to impress potential employers. So on this one, you're going to get George Clooney and David Letterman and Sandra Bullock, Nicole Kidman, Woody Allen, Oprah Winfrey, Super Dave, and one of my favorite bits we ever did with Senator Tom Eagleton. My TV audition tape from 1999. You're going to get a charge out of this on the Video Village. JC's Wayback Machine this week, the TV commercial that KLOU ran back in 2000 to announce that I was headed over there. Anybody remember lava lamps? Not necessarily the news this week is Brendan Ryan, JC's Eye Candy today. Well, it's Monday. I figured we'd do something stupid and pointless. How about putting a brick in a washing machine and then turning it on? JC's Eye Candy, you'll enjoy it. And one last note. My buddy Rich LaRusso from LaRusso's down in South City, somebody stole his blue Vespa over the weekend from in front of his house on the hill. If you know anything about it, call the cops. Rich is a great guy, and he loved riding around on that thing. Call the cops if you see somebody riding a blue Vespa that didn't have one last week. Tomorrow, it'll be Celebrity Tuesday. We'll talk a little bit about it being Election Day. Vote no on Prop C. And also, we're going to introduce you to a new show business term called movie, quote, whore. That's it. JC's Daily Dose for Monday, August 2nd, 2010. Don't forget now, we're available on your smartphone, on your mobile phone. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.